It's the same old story. Boy finds girl, boy loses girl, girl finds boy, boy forgets girl, boy remembers girl, girl dies in a tragic blimp accident over the Orange Bowl on New Year's Day. This is Rebooty and the Beast, a podcast in two parts. I'm Ann Burke.
And I'm Matt Molinaro, and in the first episode, we review an original piece of media, and then in the later episodes, we discuss the reboot.
That's right, and we finished our Frankensteiniverse series last week, so we are moving on to new media.
We are.
And this week, we're doing 1988's The Naked Gun, From the Files of Police Squad or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Yeah, we talked about this earlier on sometime in our series, and I think, I don't know, something came up.
Yeah.
So it's good to get back to this because I've been wanting to watch the reboot at least for a while, so.
Yeah, same. Have you ever seen this version?
I have. It's been a long time.
Yeah, same.
But I've definitely seen this before, at least once or twice. It's one of those movies that has a similar, like, comedic style, I feel like, to, what did we just watch? Young Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
It's got that sort of screwball comedy.
Dumb throwaway lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's been a really long time. What about you? You've seen it?
I have, yeah. It's probably been since my childhood, but yes, I have seen it.
Yeah, it was one of those TV watches, like TNT, TBS.
Oh, I remember watching it with my family on like movie night or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely not that. My dad, yeah, right. Probably on USA Network. I watched it at night, like while doing my homework.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
But yeah, I mean, I remember this time. I didn't have a ton of expectations, except for I was like, well, 1988. It's kind of the era I was born in. Thinking back, I was like, I really hope I remember liking this movie. And so I was like,
Same.
I really hope I continue to. I hope it holds up. You never know. You never know.
I feel like whenever you put on a comedy movie from, let's say prior to 2010, you're really rolling the dice on what kind of humor they might employ. So I started it and I was similarly nervous.
Yeah. Okay, good. So that's where I was at when I started. And the cast, I like the cast. So I was ready for it. Leslie Nielsen obviously plays the main character, which, by the way, I mean, this is obvious. I had to bring this up, but it made me think of, you don't watch The Valley.
I don't know.
Okay, so just a piece of recent lore that happened in the Bravo universe that has to do with this movie.
Okay.
It was discovered last season on The Valley that Jax uses a fake Instagram account.
Okay.
To like posts from accounts that are like Jax fan accounts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he comments on them like, yeah, Jax is the best.
Mm-hmm.
And on accounts that like will come down against him, he'll comment like, Jax is an icon, he's an absolute god.
Mm-hmm.
On his own accounts, on his own, to himself, but he'll do it under this fake account. And the name of the account is Frank Drebin.
Oh my god.
And he got discovered because he accidentally messaged Brittany from his fake account as himself.
God,
she
so
exposed
funny.
him. And then he was like, yeah, it's from Naked Gun. And they're like, you can't even get that right. It's Frank Drebin, not Dremmond.
That is really funny.
So as soon as they said his name, me and Davey looked at each other and we're like, oh my god, it's Jax's fake account.
Hilarious.
Anyway, but yes, Leslie Nielsen, I remember being in this, obviously. Priscilla Presley, I didn't remember being in it, but
no.
Once I saw her, I was like, oh yeah. And I definitely did not remember O.J. Simpson.
I literally, one of my notes just says, ooh, yikes, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, and I don't know if I remember this correctly, if this was the movie, or he might have been in another sort of police comedy type movie at the same time. But I think this was sort of his springboard into acting moment. Like, I think this was him transitioning from athlete. Household name, Wheaties box to doing movies if he didn't become a violent criminal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Time warp, though. I was like, wow, what a different experience people had going to the movie and seeing him in it for the first time.
I pressed play and I was watching it, and then I saw his face, and I literally out loud by myself in the living room went, whoa, hold on, and paused it and was like, let me just make sure that I am looking at O.J. Simpson here. And sure enough, I was.
Yeah, I started like that, like, inhale moment, and I heard Davey go, ooh, yikes. But anyway,
oh boy.
Yeah, that's where I was going into it with. Did you have any other thoughts before we do the summary and get into it?
No, I say go for the summary.
All right, so the summary is: incompetent police detective Frank Drebin must foil an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth II. Okay.
Accurate.
There you go. I mean, that says it all.
It does.
I totally forgot the whole, like, plot of this movie, by the way. I just knew it was, like, some sort of, police activity.
Yeah, I would never have been able to remember the Queen Elizabeth assassination storyline.
Random.
Yeah, very random. All right, well, shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, well, it's so funny. The minute this movie opens in Beirut, and it is so. Have you ever seen? I don't know if it's like TikTok or Instagram or whatever, but it's people from the Middle East or of Middle Eastern descent making fun of whenever Hollywood shows the Middle East, and it's like, the sort of like very stereotypical singing, the like wavy lines of hot air, the camel walking by.
Yes.
Like the minute this started, I was like, this is exactly that.
Yeah, it's very the caricatures of the types of characters, like a cartoon.
Yes. And it's basically like a meeting of the minds of all of, quote unquote, America's enemies plotting against America.
Yes, they want to humiliate us, of course.
Of
course.
We must be made to suffer. They've got like a Mikhail Gorbachev with like the port wine stain on his forehead looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing is so ridiculous because, so anyway, like they're all plotting, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. None of this is relevant to the movie. But then it ends up that the person serving them tea is Leslie Nielsen, and he like beats them all up and says, I'm Lieutenant Frank Drebin, police squad. And I'm like, in what world would they send like a random New York City cop to Beirut to like thwart an international terror organization conversation?
Mm-hmm.
It made no sense. Oh man. And then, okay, the opening sequence with the police light, this I remembered clear as day, of it like driving down the street, and then suddenly it's like driving on the sidewalk and people are diving out of the way, and
yes, going through the locker room.
The locker room, yes.
The roller coaster.
This was all very familiar to me.
Yeah, this moment and like that opening fight scene with Leslie Nielsen, and like the ridiculous things happening, like, punching the hair off and it's a mohawk.
Mohawk, yeah.
So ridiculous, and this is like exactly what I was remembering this type of movie to be.
Do you know what? This is a little bit more slapsticky than Young Frankenstein to an extent. And it almost reminds me, like, if you took the humor of, like, Bugs Bunny cartoons and put it into live action, I feel like this is what you get.
Oh, yeah. It's very much like the Chevy Chase sort of movies, too, at the time, National Lampoons or whatever.
Yes. Okay, so then we cut to O.J. Simpson at the harbor listening in on, like, a conversation on a boat about smuggling 40 kilos of heroin. And then I will say there are many moments in this movie that like actually got me laughing out loud. He like pulls out his gun and prepares to kick down the door, but instead he kicks his foot through the door and gets stuck while like everyone on the other side of the door all pulls their guns and like waits for him to like figure out how to get through the door. That really did make me laugh.
Yeah, this whole next sequence made me laugh a lot, to be honest.
Yes.
Like once he gets in there and he's like, he gets shot by the heroin heist people. And as he's shot, he like falls into some wet paint against the door. He like breaks a window. He
like catches on fire a little bit. He
topples into like a random wedding cake.
Yes, it's very funny.
The bear trap. So ridiculous before falling into the ocean ultimately. He really gets beat up, his character.
Kind of, I mean, he gets it worse from everything else other than the bullet shots.
Seriously.
Oh, and this is where we first see that kind of like an evil man involved in this heroin smuggling thing. His name is, well, we don't know his name yet, but we see his face, and he ends up being a man named Ludwig later.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm not going to make, I'm going to make a Charmed reference because I'm about to bring it up. But there's an episode where Paige, Rose McGowan, first is like learning how to write spells to vanquish demons. And the demon that they're fighting is named Ludwig. And instead of the typical like rhyming couplets that the Charmed ones usually do, she writes a haiku. And it's like, you know, fall turns into spring and the leaves fall. Ludwig is vanquished is like the haiku spell that she writes, and it just always sticks out in my mind. Anyway,
the beautiful poetry.
Yes.
Beautiful poetry of the WB11.
Yes. Okay, so then I think we cut to LAX, and Frank Drebin is getting off the plane from Beirut, and there's like a huge crowd of people who are like screaming, and like it seems as though he's getting this big welcome from like the press and a bunch of admirers. And he runs into his captain on police squad, who tells him about, it sounds like, we never meet her, but a woman named Victoria, who maybe he was into, but she ran off and got married to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts like speaking into a podium with a whole bunch of microphones on it, talking to them. And the captain's like, Frank. And he's like, they're not here for you. Weird Al Yankovic is on the plane. And that was another like time traveling moment. I was like, damn, Weird Al Yankovic looks so young here.
I know. That's what I was about to say. Another time warp moment.
Yeah. Have you, I know we've talked about this before, but I don't remember the answer. Have you seen UHF?
UHF?
Yeah, the Weird Al Yankovic movie.
Oh, no.
All right. We need to do that on Patreon at some point because it's a gem in my mind, in my childhood memory mind.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Okay. And then I also really liked the line where he asks about Victoria's new husband, and he's like, what do you know about him? And the captain goes, not much, just that he's an Olympic gymnast and it's the best sex she's ever had.
Yes, I love that too. I wrote that down.
And then the like, I can't help it, everything reminds me of her. And they cut to like the it's like this plant, I think right north of San Diego. It's like these two like nuclear reactor buildings that are shaped like boobs, and I literally think boobs every time I drive by those on my way up north. Oh, and so this is where he learns that OJ Simpson has about a 50-50 chance of living, and so they go visit him in the hospital. And get some more amazing, like, just stupid lines, like the doctor wrapping OJ Simpson's arm and saying to the wife, you know, Mrs. Norberg or whatever, I think we can save your husband's arm. Where would you like it sent? And it's just like so stupid and funny. I love it.
Yeah, and like the ridiculous like details that this is like his best friend, and it's a tiny little room, and he walks in and he's like, "Where is he?" He's like,
yes,
right here,
right there. I loved the bed folding in half. I loved the. OJ Simpson is trying to tell Leslie Nielsen about like how he got shot in like the, you know, boat and all of that, and he's like, a boat, and Leslie Nielsen is like, yes, we'll take a cruise together just like last year when you get better.
Yes.
And he's like, no, drugs. And he's like, nurse, get this man some drugs. And he's like, no, heroin. And Leslie's like, well, it's a pretty tall order. It might take me a day or so to get that for you.
So stupid.
His wife, who pretty much only has to do screaming in this scene, I thought did an excellent job of scream crying.
Oh my god, just wailing after everything that they say, because the doctor just keeps saying basic things like that her husband's going to die in some way. Or no, the doctor keeps saying like, oh, he might be okay, but then Leslie Nielsen character keeps being like, but he might die.
Yes. And I loved especially when she's like, who could have done this? And he's like, who knows? Gang of thugs, a blackmailer, an angry husband, a gay lover.
Yes.
Oy.
Yeah, she was great too.
I think this is when they see the photograph of the boat called the I Love You boat and realize like maybe it has something to do with the man named Ludwig who owns that boat.
Yeah, they
right?
realize everything he was saying was actually related to the boat.
And then we get kind of the subplot, side plot of the police squad is being tasked with protecting Queen Elizabeth, who is coming to watch a baseball game in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And we get the press, what's it called?
Conference?
Press conference. Thank you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With the mayor. And it's just such a stupid bit, but his microphone doesn't work, so he borrows somebody else's, and then he finishes saying what he's going to say and goes into the bathroom with the microphone. And so just over the mayor talking is the sound of him peeing in the bathroom and like making a bunch of like relieved sounds and farting.
Yes. Taking
just
forever.
Unbelievably dumb, but so funny.
Yeah, I love how at first she's trying to talk over him, but eventually she just sits down and everyone just like listens to it.
Yes, and I love also that we get like a just quick glimpse of like this is being televised, so you see like a family at home like reacting to it as well.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Another just stupid gag. This is when they go down to the docks to start investigating O.J. Simpson's murder. Or not murder site, but, whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's a police officer saying, please disperse. There's like nothing to see here, into a megaphone. And the megaphone is pointed directly into a woman's face.
Yes. Yes. We also see a trend here of how every time Leslie Nielsen's character pulls up anywhere in a car, it is increasingly more chaotic. He like knocks people into the ocean.
That is honestly, I think, my favorite running gag from this whole movie because it gets more ridiculous every time, and I'm obsessed with it. Have you ever, going back to the megaphone, have you ever seen that meme of just like a girl with like a giant tuba on her shoulder, like pinning another girl's against the wall with the tuba head?
Yes.
That's what the megaphone thing reminded me of.
Oh, 100%.
I also loved the chalk outline in the water, the chalk outline of O.J. Simpson's body floating on the water.
Oh my God, I love that too. I was like, I love these little details in these types of movies that are like just so silly.
Yes. So he talks to the like pier deck crew man, the person in charge of the harbor, I guess. Mm-hmm. And they do this like funny like money swapping bit over like, how about now? But they just keep passing the same like $20 back and forth. I thought that was also very funny. Mm-hmm. And this guy says Norberg, O.J. Simpson, is like a dirty cop who is dealing heroin, which never is a storyline that never really goes anywhere. So I'm like not sure, was that supposed to be true or not?
Yeah, I didn't really even know where that was going.
Yeah. Anyway, so then he goes and meets with Ludwig, right?
Yes, then he meets Ludwig in his fancy apartment.
Yes.
And says, Lieutenant, and the guy goes, the feeling is mutual.
And I love, he offers him cigars and says Cuban, and Leslie Nielsen goes, no, Dutch Irish.
So ridiculous.
I know.
This is where we learn that Ludwig has Japanese fighting fish and this like unbreakable pen except for by water. Mm-hmm. Like, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
I also, so he flips the pen in the water, and then there was just another throwaway line that made me laugh, which is Ludwig asks about O.J. Simpson, and Leslie Nielsen says he's at the hospital of Our Lady of the Worthless Miracle.
Oh, yes. Yes, I wrote that down too.
And all the while he's talking to Ludwig, getting like info from him and trying to get the pen out of the fish tank with the Japanese fighting fish that, by the way, I do not think I think those are some random kind of fish that are not aggressive at all, but they're just very striking looking.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. I've seen those fish all over the place.
Yeah. But he's fighting with the fish. It's biting him. It's biting his nose. And then he accidentally stabs the pen directly through the fish and just gives up and dumps it back in the tank.
Idiot. So many opportunities where you could have been just done with it, but no.
No, yes. And then I think this is where Miss Spencer comes on the scene, right?
Oh, yes, because he's like, okay, I'm out of here. I got as much information out of you as I can. I'm going to go speak to personnel. And then he leaves, and then we get, like, Jane Spencer at the top of the steps looking like this, like, she's all that gentlemen prefer blondes moment.
It's very, like... femme fatale, like.
Yes, but instead of like sauntering down the stairs, she stumbles and falls and like screams like, "Oh!"
But then immediately resumes her sexy walk.
Yes, I loved that.
Also killed me. By the way, I did not recognize that this was Priscilla Presley at first, and I was kind of like, she kind of looks like Lana Del Rey meets Kim Cattrall.
Oh, I was gonna say Kim Cattrall, so I could totally see that.
Yeah. At first, I thought it might have been Kim Cattrall, and then I was like, no, the face isn't quite right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have recognized her unless I looked it up.
Mm-hmm. So she gets some personnel files for him up a ladder, and he goes, "Nice beaver." And she says, "Thanks, I just had it stuffed," and hands down a giant stuffed beaver.
Of course.
Very funny. And then he invites her to dinner. He's attracted to her. He invites her to dinner, and he says, "I know a great Viking food place." And she says, "That sounds amazing." But okay. And then she comes up with an excuse, which I need to have at my disposal at all times. I have to get my rest, tomorrow being Arbor Day and all.
100%. I wrote that down too.
Oh man. Okay. Oh, but Ludwig wants her to like get to know Frank Drebin better, to like find out what he knows, and so kind of like sets her the task of getting to know him better.
Mm-hmm.
We get another car parking gag, but this time it runs into like a fire hydrant and catches on fire.
Yeah, he gets out of it. It's still moving. There are so many airbags deployed that they're sticking out the side of every window.
Yes. As
he's just walking away from it.
Yes, and like people are screaming, and he's shooting at the car. Like, did anyone get to see a look at the driver?
Yes.
Like, he doesn't recognize his own car. So dumb.
Amazing.
So dumb. Loved it though.
Yeah.
I also liked the sort of like science room, as though like a New York police squad is going to have their own like science department inventing little tools for the police officers to use. He shows them like a Swiss Army shoe with like a knife and a screwdriver and a corkscrew and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the anti-graffiti wall, shooting spray paint at them.
Yes, the anti-graffiti wall.
Like it's Willy Wonka.
And he shows him a pair of cufflinks that shoot tranquilizer darts. And he goes, "Here, let me demonstrate on Ed." And it's like, huh? Just as he gets shot in the neck with a dart. Excellent. But he does say that O.J. Simpson's jacket did have, the fiber samples had pure heroin on them. And so this like storyline of maybe he is a dirty cop is back into question. And the captain tells Drebin that he has 24 hours to clear Norberg. And I think the next thing is Ludwig meeting with a man named Mr. Papschmier.
Yes.
That name is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I know. I was like, I need to look up how they spelled this.
Yes.
But that's it. It's one name. Papschmier.
Yes. And I'm unclear on this man's role, but basically they're talking about they're planning to assassinate the Queen of England. And we find out that Ludwig's plan is basically to like activate sleeper agents by pressing a button, and his like secretary like kind of goes into, automatic mode and grabs a gun and points it at Papschmier. And that's kind of like how we learn how he's planning to kill the Queen, basically.
Yes, he's got this very high-tech instant hypnosis mind control device. Very Captain Planet.
Yes.
Very, what's it called? Inspector Gadget.
Yes, exactly. And then for some reason that I'm not clear on, he also activates a sleeper agent at the hospital who like starts trying to smother O.J. Simpson.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, but thankfully Leslie Nielsen gets there just in time and like starts fighting him. And we get a sequence of like a chase scene where the doctor like jumps out the window and like gets in a car, and then Leslie Nielsen makes somebody else drive him, and it's a student driver in a car.
Oh yes, yes, the student driver, teenager, glasses, and
yes. With the instructor like telling her what to do the whole way, and like now activate your signal. Now check for oncoming traffic. And it's just like, so funny to throw that scenario into a police chase.
Yes, especially like moments when like she's going down the wrong way on a highway and a truck is coming towards her, and the like elderly driver instructor is like, okay, just go back, reverse, keep going, and like the windows are getting smashed out. He's like,
yes,
well
I
done.
loved his line where he says, "Now normally you would not be going 65 on the wrong way of a one-way street."
Yes.
And then the instructor, after the like semi truck goes past them and he like yells at the woman, she's like, the instructor goes, "Extend your arm. Now extend your middle finger." Very good, Stephanie.
Yes, and then she's like emblazoned to be a badass on the road now.
Yes. And they're catching up with the doctor, who runs into first a like gas truck, like a semi truck full of gas, and it explodes. But then he keeps like going past it and then like runs into a tank with a rocket on it, and then is on the rocket and keeps going and then crashes into a fireworks factory. And that's just like, I feel like, so, you know, in like joke writing, they call it like punch ups, or, you know, where it's like, okay, this is funny, like what could make it even funnier, and just kind of like continuing to do those sort of like one ups of the joke of like having him run into a gas tank is funny, but then let's also do a rocket, and then let's do a fireworks factory is just very entertaining to me.
Exactly. It's like earlier with O.J. Simpson in the room, and it was like, let's do the wet paint and the door, and then a wedding cake.
Yes, and a bear trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think is when he gets home to his apartment. Frank Drebin goes home to his apartment and he sees that the door is ajar. And he like pulls out his gun and starts like checking through his apartment for, you know, an intruder. And he's doing all these like somersaults and cartwheels and backflips. It's very stupid.
Yes.
And it's Miss Spencer wearing one of his button-down shirts, no pants, in his kitchen. And she says, "I'm boiling a roast."
Yeah, it's supposed to be super sexy, and then she pulls out with like a fork this gigantic boiled piece of brown and gray meat.
What? Okay, was it Bewitched, where there was some scene or movie that we've watched in the semi-recent past where somebody talked to it was Psycho with Anne Heche, and they talked about boiling a roast.
Oh yeah, ew.
Ugh, gross.
No thanks.
But it does enable her to give the line, "How hot and wet would you like it?"
Yes.
A lot of double entendres in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to slip into something more comfortable, which is another suit. Very funny.
Yes.
And
then she's
together.
in like a silk dress now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. She's in like a silk dress. I forgot about that. And they have kind of a flirty romantic dinner, and then she takes off her dress, and they have a bit where because she just like opens the neckline and her dress falls off. And so he just like grabs his collar and pulls, and his whole suit like tears away in one piece.
Yes, I love that.
Very funny. And she has you should know I practice safe sex, and he says, "Me too." And then we cut to them in literally full body condoms.
Yes.
Oh God.
Ridiculous.
And then, by the way, then we get like a montage of them doing like a million dates, like running through the ocean together, you know, going on a Ferris wheel at the circus. They're on top of the New York State building. They're, you know, all of these things. And the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, he had 24 hours to clear his like partner's name, and he's like going on like 900 dates with this woman.
Yes, I love that. I love that it's all in the course of a day, and I love that there's completely clueless on the dates, just like knocking people over, clotheslining people on the beach. Yes,
that killed me. Yeah, and then the montage series kind of wraps up with her going, "This has been such an amazing date. I can't believe we just met yesterday."
Yes,
even though they could have done all those things in one day.
I love it.
Dead. And then we get to the stakeout outside of Ludwig's office. What were they eating in the car? Because they were like eating these red things that were like staining their lips red. What were those?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I feel like there's a kind of
pistachios.
Was it pistachios? Okay.
Yeah, because they had the red pistachios that they were eating.
Okay.
And then when he opens the door later, there's a million pistachios at the car door.
Yes. Okay.
That must have been it.
Yeah. So he waits for Ludwig to leave and breaks into his apartment, the place with all the fancy fish and priceless valuables.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite moments in this scene was when he's like going through the drawers silently and then opens one and goes, bingo, and pulls out a bingo card.
Yes.
This is like, I feel like the humor in this movie is very like, oh my God, like really just very that vibe.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Yes. And then he finds the note about the $20 million deposit upon proof of the Queen's death. And he's reading it by the light of his lighter and accidentally lights it on fire and proceeds to, in like a very slapstick moment, destroy the entire fucking apartment between like smashing all the priceless vases, trying to save the painting, but then tripping and like piercing the painting on like a sharp statue and lighting everything on fire. And Ludwig, I think, is like preparing to come back into the building at this point. So he like climbs out the window. And the minute he climbs out the window, I was like, why are there giant penises on all of these statues outside of the building?
Yeah, same.
And then, of course, he's like hanging off of them, and a neighbor's like screaming because she sees a man like outside her window hanging onto the dong of these statues.
Yes. Spinning it around to get back up.
Yes. And then I think that's when the mayor finds out like all of this that he did, right?
Yeah, well, he tries to say to the mayor that Ludwig is a villain.
Yes.
And he doesn't believe him because he's had such a bad history himself.
Yes.
Such as arresting or killing a bunch of people at a Shakespeare in the Park performance. Yeah, so they're like, I don't know if we can trust you. And then he goes home.
No, I think he gets fired. Like the next scene is him like packing up his office, right?
Yes,
Packing up
yes.
his
He goes home.
desk.
He's depressed, and Jane's over when he gets there.
Yeah, and says that Ludwig wants to meet him tonight.
Yes.
At the like stockyards, and he goes, and another gag that actually had me laughing out loud. So he's like walking up to this like misty building. It looks very like suspicious and dangerous. And then a man's voice says, Frank Drebin, and he goes, yeah. And the man says something like, I don't know, like say goodbye, or he says something as he starts firing gunshots at him. And Leslie Nielsen just stands there and says, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Don't fire the gun while you're talking. Oh, yes. God, that got me.
And I was like, where are they with this like hanging meat and toxic waste cans?
Toxic waste, yes. I was like, this is a weird stockyard thing.
Yes.
But yeah, the guy falls into a vat of toxic waste. And so he knows that Ludwig tried to set him up and have him killed. And this is all happening at the same time of the like welcome banquet for Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
So we cut to that, and Frank Drebin sees like Ludwig and Miss Spencer, and he goes and talks to them, and he thinks Miss Spencer like set him up and like basically is like breaking up with her, and he says, I faked every orgasm and all of this. And then there's some bit where like Ludwig opens like Kate, like the mayor announces something about a gun, and like Ludwig opens this musket case of this like old-timey gun just as Queen Elizabeth is like walking into the room, and Drebin like mistakenly thinks that Ludwig is aiming a gun at her, so he like jumps on Queen Elizabeth, and they like slide down the banquet table and like end up in this compromising position while all of the paparazzi are taking photos of them
across the entire banquet table.
Yes. Oh, sorry. And this is where he gets kicked off the force. That's right. Okay.
Yes, this is one step too far.
Yeah. And then Miss Spencer shows up and tries to kind of like make good with him, right? And it says like,
yeah, she's like, sorry.
Yeah.
I have to confess, like I was trying to get close to you, but that's not why. And I'm telling you now that Ludwig is going to plan the assassination at the baseball game.
Yes. And he said, and okay, then we get, this is, I will say overall, I really liked the movie. I think this whole baseball sequence went on for way too long. Like there was a lot of and maybe just like the demographic of the people that this movie appealed to were like straight men. And so the baseball theme like made sense. But for me, I was like, all right, enough baseball.
Yeah, I think it was just an opportunity to do a bunch of slapstick stuff, and they happened to get some real baseball players in it.
Yes.
And so I think they were like, oh yeah, let's really
go for
make it worth their contract.
Yes. So Leslie Nielsen has to find a way to search all of the players. So his first attempt at this is to knock out the opera singer and pretend to be him. And his name is Enrico Palazzo. And like starts singing the national anthem very, very badly and gets a bunch of the words wrong, which is very funny.
Mm-hmm.
But of course he's like on the Jumbotron, so the mayor sees him and Ludwig sees him, and the police start like coming after him on the field, so he has to run away and come up with another strategy, and decides to be an umpire this time, and so he can kind of like pat down all of the players. And this man, I swear to God, this must be the TSA screening agent training video.
Oh, for sure.
The way he manhandles and gropes all of these baseball players is outrageous.
100%. 100%. I was like, he is really, really up in their business.
Very up in their business.
Oh my God.
I liked the bit where like the first pitch gets thrown and like there's that long pause where he doesn't realize he's supposed to like make the call. So everybody kind of just is like waiting and then looking at him, and he goes, strike?
Yeah. Yes. I also liked how most of his calls were just based on how long he wanted the people around him. So it didn't even matter.
Totally. And
eventually everyone gets pissed at him though, because they like want to watch the game. So then there's like other umpires that come out and start fighting with him.
Kind of fight, yeah. And during this, Ludwig activates the sleeper assassin, which is what's his name?
Jackson?
Reggie Jackson, yes.
Oh yes, this is one of the baseball players that they actually got. So they're like, okay.
Yes. And he almost shoots the queen, but Drebin shoots his cufflink darts and doesn't hit him, but hits a woman on like the balcony above him who like falls off the balcony on top of him.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Then the Ludwig runs off with Miss Spencer, and at first it's like her and him go like running through the crowd together, and then you can tell, and it's intentional, that you can tell she clearly turns into a mannequin.
Yes, and then the way he runs with her is like the way they do coffee cups in Gilmore Girls.
Yes, it is so funny to me.
Reckless.
And he manages to cufflink Ludwig just as he gets away from Miss Spencer, and somebody's like, you killed him, and he's like, no, he'll be fine in a second, it's just a tranquilizer. And then he falls over the side of the roof, and a bus runs him over, and then a steamroller runs him over,
yes,
and then a marching band runs over him.
Amazing. The marching band was the best part.
Yes. And one of the marching band members steps on a button that he's holding, which activates Miss Spencer as a sleeper agent. And by the way, her hair and outfit in this moment are amazing. Yes,
it's very newscaster of the 80s. It's very businesswoman lunch.
Yes, she is like power shoulders to the max.
Yes.
I loved it.
Aquanet.
And then Aquanet. But then the power of love conquers all, and Drebin confesses his love to her, and he shows her an engagement ring that he bought for her. Yes. And it breaks the spell, and she's like so grateful. And then like the last two gag lines I have are the mayor and the captain walk up, and the mayor goes, not only do you have your job back, I'm promoting you to captain, right in front of the captain.
Yes.
And then OJ Simpson is there, and he's feeling better, and Frank like slaps him on the back, and his wheelchair goes like sliding down the stairs toward the field.
He is just there to get beat the F up.
Honestly, I know.
And that's the end of the movie.
I know. It was not long. It was just short and slapsticky and silly. There's a bunch of trivia about this, but like The only one that I thought was kind of like noteworthy was so Reggie Jackson, when Queen Elizabeth died in September 2022, Reggie Jackson tweeted, "Now we all know I was innocent. Amen. Rip Queen E."
I love that.
That killed me.
I saw the one piece of trivia. It was like the easiest one I could find, but I thought it was interesting that after Leslie Nielsen died in 2010, ESPN wrote an obituary or published one for the Enrico Palazzo character umpiring the game, which I thought that was really cute. I love when people love a character so much in some way and they like bear some sort of homage to them in real life, like a statue or like a day or you know, I love that kind of stuff.
Agreed. What would you hope would change? I mean, so you know, in this podcast we talk about the original and the reboot. What would you hope would change about this for the reboot?
I hope they are able to recapture the same sort of comedy without trying to just do a scene-for-scene redo. And I hope that the actors, I know who's in it, I hope that they are like their versions of these characters and not trying to just redo what was already done, because I think the magic of these types of movies is the ensemble and the way they work together and how much fun they seem to be actually having doing it. You know what I mean? So it really feels like an ensemble type thing. So I don't want a lot to change. I just want it to kind of make sense for today. Maybe, you know, just even funnier. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that much needs to change. I was really pleasantly surprised with how few of the jokes were at like a specific person's expense from like an aspect of themselves that they couldn't change. Like there really weren't, I mean, other than the opening scene of the like weird like Axis power kind of thing.
Yes.
That I was like, uh-oh.
I know. I was like, uh-oh. But then I kind of feel like even that was always meant to be ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah.
So
like none of it really felt at the expense. Like there weren't any racist jokes.
No.
You know, there really weren't any, even for Miss Spencer, who was kind of just sort of like a, you know, girlfriend character without a lot of depth. It's not like there was a lot of like sexist jokes at her expense.
Yeah, they didn't make her like overly idiotic or you know, or like not in on the joke. You know, she was part of the whole thing. It felt very good. It felt like like a real team. You know what I mean?
It kind of reminded me of like the Inga character from Young Frankenstein. Of like she was in on all of the jokes about her being kind of like the sexy assistant.
Yes, exactly, perfect.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know that you need to change a whole lot. I'm going to be really interested because I think I said this when we recorded Young Frankenstein. This style of humor of like the slapstick, the ridiculous, the absurd, I do feel like died off, you know, in the 90s, 2000s. And so I'm just going to be really curious to see how the new Naked Gun does it. Like, will they do the same sense of humor and will it be successful? That's like what I'm really curious about.
I think it has the potential to. I feel like that type of humor got replaced by bro humor.
You know what? I was just thinking, I like the minute you started talking, I was like, oh, but there's kind of like South Parky, like, you know,
it got
Jackass.
Replaced by the starting of like American Pie and those types of movies, aged in the renaissance of like Knocked Up and Wedding Crashers or whatever, and you know,
you're so right.
Idolization of people like Mike Tyson who beat their spouses and don't apologize. It's just like, you know, the ridiculous nonsense.
That's true. I didn't really think about that. It did kind of get co-opted by bro humor.
Yeah. But I think that's on the way out. I think that it's way on the way out. So I feel like this is a great time and a great duo. Clearly they had a lot of synchronicity on set because they, you know, have a relationship, I think, still. So
no, I think we found out that was all fake for
No,
the
was
movie.
it?
I think so.
Oh
yeah.
no, I hope that's not true.
Well, we'll find out. We'll
update you next week. Ratings. Do you want to know the ratings and then we'll do ours?
Yes.
Okay. IMDb gives this a 7.6.
Okay.
Rotten Tomato meter is 88%, and the audience meter, popcorn meter, is 84%.
Okay.
Pretty high.
That's, yeah. I mean, it's so funny whenever I see like sevens, like Frankenstein, the movie we watched last week, which I think was excellent, having a 7.8 on IMDb. I'm like, that just seems low to me.
Yeah, same. I would give this higher. Well, we'll get into that. What do you want to rate it?
I think I'm going to give it a solid 8. Like it was fast. It was funny. There wasn't anything super cringy in it. I actually laughed out loud several times.
Same.
So if people haven't seen this, I think you should. It's just like a dumb movie you could watch anytime.
Yes. And it's like a police style, like action-y, whatever, screwball kind of movie, but you don't have to like that kind of movie to like this at all.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I liked it.
What's your score?
I'm excited to see. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I liked it a lot. I don't have a lot to say about it. I hope that the story is a little bit more interesting next time than a baseball game and the Queen. I also loved, okay, one piece of trivia, the woman who played the Queen is like famous for playing Queen Elizabeth because she looks so much like her in a lot of other things.
Oh, funny.
Because I was like, who is this? And when I looked her up, she's like, basically her story, her brief story from Wikipedia and IMDb is that she wanted to be an actress in her early day. She didn't have enough money at the time to go into acting school at that time. And so she kind of took parts that she could get without like the recognition of that on her like resume or whatever. And she got cast early on because she looked so much like Queen Elizabeth, and it started to catch on. She realized she can, mimic her the way she is as well, and use that to get more parts. So she's played Queen Elizabeth in a lot of things, including Goldmember and like a bunch of other things.
That's so funny.
But that being said, I hope that the storyline is just a little more captivating than the Queen coming for a baseball game. Not that I have a problem with it, but that's my only thing. It was like, okay, whatever. I could watch this cast do whatever.
Maybe it's going to be like a Vogue ballroom competition
yes,
for 2025.
Queen. That's my kind of category is the crown.
I would love that. All right. Well, listeners, my love language is podcast reviews and subscriptions. So if you would like to show us a little love, if you could just go subscribe to our show and write a review, we would love that.
Yes, another thing we would love is if you told your friends and colleagues about our podcast. The best way we can grow as a show is by word of mouth. So tell someone that you like that we are wonderful because your opinion matters.
Yes, our social media is RebootyPod on Instagram, and you can email us at rebootypod@gmail.com. We love getting emails, so send us one and say hi.
Yes, you can find us on Patreon as well, patreon.com/NandMatt. We've got a backlog of a bunch of games we've played and questions we've answered and asked, and more recently, a bunch of movies that maybe aren't reboots. So if you're looking for more content, check us out.
That's right. And thank you for listening to Rebooty and the Beast.
See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.